right now there's the burgeoning field of claytronics is making a lot of progress. There's now robot dolls that have warming vaginas. There are virtual blowjobs that happen with a cam girl and a masturbation sleeve. So we're definitely moving towards the AI experience. And I think that humans have a pretty universal obsession with having sex with robot dolls. So if you want it, it'll probably happen. So I would say yes. The robot dolls run about $15,000 to $18,000. They'll be launching in 2017. They are created by Real Dolls, which is a sex toy doll making company, which already has a lot of models on the market, but these are the most lifelike that they'll have so far. So yes, they're about to be launched. Yes, they're $15,000. Everything is made bespoke. It's a very expensive purchase. These dolls have been on the market for the dolls that aren't with the dolls that are currently on the market are about $15,000. Everything they're very complicated to make. That's their running price. The price is unlikely to come down. If anything, the new doll should be more expensive. I think that the important thing to focus on is not the price of what it is to have sex with a robot doll, but what it actually means for humanity. And I think that that's a more logical way to go about it. Because once AI robot dolls, and who knows when, are a part of everyday interactions with people, it won't be so much about price as much as what it means to have sexual interactions with a robot doll, whether you're in a relationship, single or otherwise, and the implications thereof. I think that it's a very interesting journey that humanity will be on, because I think there are a lot of positives in the sense that a person with a physical disability, such as cerebral palsy, might not otherwise have the chance to experience sexuality because there's such a stigma around physical disability and mental disability. So in that case, it actually opens up a whole door for people who might otherwise not have access to that kind of experience. There's also darker implications in that if say robot dolls were to become as lifelike as something in a show like Westworld, at what point do we then open ourselves up to either being taken over by robots, or is having sex with a robot cheating on your partner in that case? More questions will open up as the technology becomes more advanced, and in that case, we'll have to address them then. When it comes to sexuality, humans don't just want to have sex with a robot. They crave that real human interaction, and they exchange of pheromones and hormones, and that I don't think can ever be totally replicated by AI. So I don't think it will cheapen human interactions as much as it will just expand us into a different realm of sexuality and understanding.
Well, in my personal opinion, I don't think I'd be going after a robot or doll under any circumstances. If I can't have the real thing, I don't want anything at all.
Yeah, and as soon as you get a malfunction or a glitch, it's them bitch your dick off. Oh man, terrible idea. I mean, what, did she say $60,000? That's a car. That is a car. That's a down payment on a house. Really? Man, look, if it gets that bad, go to the store, buy you some condoms, head out to the local strip, and buy you a piece of pussy for about $50-$60. Now, it's got the 60 in there, but it ain't got that thou on the end of it. Okay, it ain't got the thou on the end of it. $60. See, it ends how it ends is $60. See how it ends? Not $60,000. It's $60. You'd be cheaper coming off that way, okay? Because like I said before, if it's a glitch, program goes awry, some bitch dick off. Good Lord. Who came up with this idea? Terrible.
Hey, Big Jack, I wouldn't even be saying no $50 or $60. That's asking for somebody with disease. If you're going to pay somebody for it, you better be paying big bucks and make sure she's high class and clean and tested before you go spending money. Don't be spending no $50, $60. Because that's called getting yourself something you have to keep forever, like luggage.
I think the worries about humanity are a little exaggerated. I don't believe that any artificial is going to make a dent on people still craving human companionship and sexuality. But who in the hell's going to buy these at those prices? You know, $18,000. I mean, yeah, there's some people, quite a few people, I guess, would throw down money for that. But there's only a small percentage of people who would want one of these anyway, and so a small percentage of the people who can afford it wouldn't be many. However, would it be illegal if, let's say, I invested in half dozen of these things and opened a little shop, or would deliver them to hotel rooms and charge people to have them for a couple hours or whatever? Would that be prostitution? That's would pose a kind of an interesting question. And it's funny that most of this kind of stuff, the innovation seems to be taking place in Japan. I don't know why that is, except that, with a shrinking population, maybe it's more and more difficult for, young guys or whatever to find women. The most interesting one I've heard of is condoms with vibrators built into them. I just can't picture how that would work, but whatever. In reference to Rick, would you not even go for, say, a fleshlight? I mean, I'm sure you use your hand. I mean, there's only two kinds of people, those who do and those who lie about it. Isn't that kind of the same thing? Is it a matter of not being able to hide it away from, the possibility of being discovered, or the cost? I don't know. To me, it's just an aid, like, personal lubrication is. Maybe you don't use that either.
Who's wanting to have sex with robot? I don't get it. Who was it? Big Jack said he's got a point. Like, if something goes wrong with the program, you're fucked. What if it explodes or something? What if it's just like you're having sex with it and the thing just like... Or what if you die and your family finds your sex robot?
Well, I sure ain't having sex with no damn robots. If I can't have the real thing, another human being, it ain't gonna happen. I ain't sticking my dick in no computer. Fuck that.
From Chicago, Illinois. I don't mind progress. Progress is a wonderful thing, but I'm going to stick to the old-fashioned way of having sex, which is with a beautiful woman, and that's it. Knowledge, progress is wonderful, but there are some things that you just don't want to do.
Hi there. I think this idea of robots and AI fulfilling sexual desires for humanity is just one more step in a downward spiral that is increasing our dependence on technology to the point of everything that we do now being so convenient and possible that we as a society are no longer learning the concept of patience. Outside of this, yes, I do think for those who are lonely or who otherwise are so self-absorbed the idea of having sex with robots will be a very enticing thing. It's a very unfortunate reality that we're now living in with this concept, because now, if you look at China as being a premier country on the forefront of AI technology with respect to robot development, there are robots now, like you say, that will fulfill sexual desire and gratification. There are robots that will help geriatrics exercise. There are robots that will help an individual change their mood if they're somber. There are robots that will accompany you by way of not allowing you to be alone if you're drinking alcohol. So there are now robots for almost everything. And now we're stepping into the realm of autonomous vehicles, which is a different topic entirely. But it's all centered around this idea of digital dependence.
17 to 18 grand, and the thing probably lasts for 3 years. Those are some pretty expensive orgasms, and they're not even with a real person. I think I'll pass on that one. So if it's a robot that gives a blowjob, does that make it a blowbot? I'm just wondering, like, what would they call it? And I hope Apple's not making it, because if Apple's making it, you'll have to agree to the terms of service 2 times every time you use it. You know, doing the math on that's like more expensive than a prostitute. And yeah, okay, you might not get chlamydia or herpes or whatever, and it may not be illegal. But oh, the things that could go wrong. Oh, I don't even want to think about it. That thing could get short-circuited, and, well, you might be in for a shocking blowjob. Let's just put it that way. Wow, what a... I mean, I've read articles on this in the past, but never that, oh yeah, it's going to launch next year. It sounds like it's going to now. So, yeah, it's not something I would ever spend my money on. A lot of more useful things. And there's also the fact that I actually want to experience another person, not only, another person, but I don't want to pay them for it, because, well, if they're not into me, then I'm not into that. I never, like, okay, if you want to do that, if you want to pay money to, have things done to you sexually, like, that's, I don't technically see a problem with that per se. Like, I don't even know why it's illegal. In fact, of course, in Nevada, it's not. When I lived over in Amsterdam, it wasn't illegal there either. I never partook, but at the same time, like, that's just not for me. So even if I had the money to do something like that, there's no way I would spend that kind of money for something like that. The Blowbot. Wow. I'll pass on the Blowbot, but I'm sure a lot of people won't. And then, they could have one. They could have a couple of different models. They could have the Blowbot Blowback. That one won't swallow. I don't know. It's early in the morning. I haven't had my coffee yet. I'm going to end this here. I probably shouldn't even save it.
Hi, I'm an Abdullah here. I believe this is revolutionary. I fully support this, and if the price ever came down, then I would certainly go for it. And if these robots became truly sentient and became androids in their own right, then that would be far better. I would rather have sex with a sentient being, a sentient machine. But because that is not possible yet, this is the only way to go right now. But it's okay.